something that bothered me, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. There was this meme or a question. It was a hypothetical thought experiment. If you could go back into time, would you kill baby Hitler? And of course, all the leftists said yes. And I remember Ted Cruz, yeah, you got to kill baby Hitler if you got the chance. And part, obviously, it's tongue in cheek because we don't have a time machine. But there's an important principle here. Is it okay to murder someone or kill them if you think they're going to do evil later on? That's what it comes down to. Because the baby's innocent. The baby hasn't done anything wrong or right. Do you kill a baby because you think they could or know that they're going to do something horrible? And the traditional Christian response is, of course not. No, you don't. That's evil. You can't murder people until they do a crime and then you punish them. You can't say, oh, I think this person will one day kill someone, so we got to kill the person. That's just totally evil. But it was amazing how many people bought into that concept. And I thought of that when I saw the reaction to the attempted Trump assassination. You would think in a Christian society, let's say back in 1963, it was still a Christian nation. It didn't matter if you're on the left or the right. Almost everyone condemned the assassination of JFK. No one supported. You may have like a few fringe cases, but everyone, now this is horrific. But looking online and seeing people, even pretty famous people, there's been teachers, there's been people, government officials, huge influencers like Destiny, have basically said, hey, I'm sorry the shooter missed President Trump. I wish the shooter would have killed President Trump. And they laughed at the other guy that got killed, the innocent bystander. Well, he shouldn't have been there. And this isn't just a small percent that is doing this. This is, I don't know what, if I was doing a polling number, I would guess it's around a third of the left feels this way. It's a big issue. So you have a group of people that think it's perfectly fine to murder and assassinate President Trump. And the reason for it goes back to the baby Hitler thing. That, well, if it was okay to kill baby Hitler to prevent a worse option that's coming out in the future, well, if Trump is literally Hitler, and that's what they've been told by the media and the government, they've been demonizing Trump as literally Hitler. Well, if you could kill baby Hitler, then why shouldn't you be able to murder Trump by any means necessary? That's their motto. So whatever we have to do, the means, the ends justify the means. And if the means mean assassinated him, well, then that's okay. That's morally justified. Because they no longer have a Christian morality. This is where we are in the country. And then this gets into the whole conspiracy thing. And I don't like the term conspiracy theory. I almost have a conspiracy theory that the word conspiracy, the phrase conspiracy theory has been attacked to not get you to look into things that don't make sense. Obviously, there's some conspiracy theories that are just wacky. The moon doesn't exist. The earth is flat. You got a lot of weird stuff like that. And I think a lot of people that don't want you to look into real conspiracies, they push these fake ones to try to make you look kooky and so they can hide it. I have no doubt that this is what they do. But there are real conspiracy theories. The United States government, by the way, can indict you for engaging in a conspiracy theory. Like those guys that was supposedly trying to kidnap the governor of Michigan. Oh, conspiracy. They conspired to kidnap the governor. See, you get charged for conspiracy. And we know some that the government engages in conspiracies. They conspire, the FBI, to lie about Hunter Biden's laptop. This isn't a question now. We know they lied about it. All these officials that signed, oh, this is Putin propaganda. This Hunter Biden's laptop is not genuine. That shows all these crimes about concerning Hunter and his father Joe. No, this is Russian propaganda. And this was right before the election. They signed their name to it, and now they admitted they were lying. They lied to us, the American people, to influence the election because they didn't want the Hunter Biden laptop to hurt Joe Biden. So by any means necessary, they were willing to lie to the American people. So they conspired to do something really evil, and I don't think they felt any guilt about it. So conspiracies happen, and we know they happen in our government. That's just the recent one. There's many others that happen. So the question is, and this is where it's troubling, because again, I don't go to the conspiracy theory first. I usually tend to blame incompetence for a bad outcome versus like this is secretly planned. But when you look at the attempted assassination of President Trump, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of weird things that don't make a lot of sense with it. The shooter, they keep using what looks to be his junior high picture, Thomas Crooks, where he has the American flag on. It's like the kid, he was 20 years old, and it's like from the time he was 15, he never took another photo. What the hell? We do have that one photo of him on the roof, and he looked really different. Obviously, he was a grown man then. He had long blonde hair, no longer short, dorky looking. So his appearance had changed. And then he's a 20-year-old man that has like no social media presence, or does he? We don't know, because we didn't get his name for a while. Were they scrubbing social media? The whole thing doesn't add up. They keep saying, oh, he was a registered Republican. Yeah, but I've seen in multiple mainstream sources, he also donated to a radical extremist leftist cause to elect Democrats. So if you're a Republican, why do you want Democrats to get elected? And why would you want to kill Donald Trump? So if you're like a MAGA Republican, oh, he's some conservative. Yeah, a conservative that wants to kill Donald Trump and donates to left-wing causes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But that's like a talking point that the shitlibs have now because they don't really think much. And it's like, was this real, or is they putting this out there, meaning the government? And right after this happened, just yesterday, they said, well, it looks like maybe the Iranians are trying to kill Donald Trump. I'm like, what? And the FBI, they said, oh, we're issuing a warning. You know who the real danger is the right-wing extremists. They may attack left-wingers now because of this attack on Donald Trump. It's always the right-wing's fault, even when the people on the right are being murdered or attempted murder. Oh, we got to worry about the right wing. So this whole thing is just strange. And then the whole scenario, so he had no social media presence. He decides, like on a whim, to assassinate Donald Trump and tell no one, not write a manifesto, don't have any post about it. And when the area wasn't secure. I saw an interview of this lady. She was a vendor that has been to like hundreds of these Trump rallies, she said, because she's a vendor. And she said immediately, she also works security. She said, well, they're not done setting up, are they? The Secret Service, because it was clear there was a roof and the roof wasn't protected, easy line of sight to shoot Trump. And it was no, they just didn't do the security. That roof was totally left open. And when they asked the head of the DEI pick for the Secret Service why they didn't secure that roof, she said, well, but because of the slope. It was slopey. It was a slope roof, and I guess it was dangerous for their little agents to be on it, which didn't make sense because the roof behind Trump, where they did have snipers, it was slope, and they didn't have an issue. And Thomas Crooks didn't have troubles with the slopey roof. So the whole thing doesn't really make sense why they didn't secure that roof. And why didn't they do anything when we have video of this? This isn't fake. People 28 minutes before Trump was shot, they were screaming, there's a guy on a roof with a gun, crawling around on his belly with a gun. And for 28 minutes, nothing happened. They didn't do shit about it. And they had Crooks on their radar because it came out, again, CNN reported, they were interviewing this man, that Crooks came into the rally because they search you. Before he climbed the roof, he went into the rally and he was carrying a rangefinder. And that's something that's used for a gun to measure distances. It's not illegal to have, but the Secret Service thought, okay, well, this is weird. A guy coming in with a rangefinder, we got to flag him. We got to, keep an eye on him. But they didn't. And then he went back and supposedly he bought a ladder and a gun. And one account, he actually walked a mile with a ladder and a gun to the building, climbed up on the building, no one noticed or cared, and then he was just squirming around for a half hour almost up there while people are notifying the police and nothing's being done. It's almost you could see the argument they were setting Trump up to be assassinated. They got some guy, some weirdo that they knew based on his history. The FBI has this information. They target young men that are troubled, and they saw that, okay, maybe he's a registered Republican, but he's donated to a extremist leftist cause, and he seems to have a lot of anger. Maybe we can manipulate him a little bit, and maybe security is just not so good this day. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying that's the case, and I would hope that's not really what happened, but you have to wonder, like, would it be beyond the FBI to stop a murder? Or why? You see how far they've gone, and you see this mindset within the left now, like, by any means necessary, it's okay to kill baby Hitler. Well, if it's okay to kill baby Hitler, is it okay to kill adult Trump? Because he's literally Hitler. So this is their mindset. They see themselves as the good guys, by any means necessary, doing this type of thing. So this whole episode, there's so many weird loose ends about what has happened. And I get the sense they just want to sweep this under the rug. They don't really want to discuss it. And this needs to be looked at. This is a serious matter. There needs to be a commission like the 9/11 commission concerning this, just asking these questions. What was his motivation to try to shoot President Trump? Why did he have explosives in his car? Why didn't the Secret Service secure the roof when multiple people told him to do so? I don't buy that because of Slopey. There's just so many questions here that need to be answered. And I get the feeling, I can understand why people are buying into a conspiracy theory. And again, I'm not saying that's the most likely. It's probably incompetence, but it's not like 1 in a million, because when a huge percentage of American population that's on the left that are Democrats were cheering the idea of Trump being assassinated, it wasn't fringe. We got an issue here. We're like in pre-Civil War conditions, and by any means necessary, they would be happy to murder or execute Donald Trump. Talk to you guys later.